team one.
We're going to talk about colonialism.
Specifically colonialism in Europe.
But what is colonialism? Excelente. Yeah, sí.
The colonialism is a policy or practice of acquiring full or partial political control over another country, occupying it with settlers and exploiting it economically.
Right around the year 1500, by Christian reckoning, technology enabled Europeans to cross the Atlantic, where they found a native population lacking gunpowder and the technology to make weapons from
The British unsuccessfully attempted to colonize the region of the Carolinas, and then, more successfully, Virginia. Initially, the British wanted wealth, gold and precious stones. They soon imported slaves from Africa and expanded their exploitation of the soil by expanding into rice and indigo, and much
into
later
cotton.
British colonization of the Americas began in 1607 in Jamestown, Virginia, and reached its peak when colonies had been established throughout the Americas.
The British were one of the most important colonizers of the Americas, and the American empire came to rival the Spanish American colonies in military and economic might.
This British colonization caused dramatical upheaval among the indigenous civilization in the Americas, both directly through British military force and indirectly through cultural disruption and introduced diseases.
Relations between the colonists and natives varied between trade and conflict. Many of the indigenous societies had developed a warrior class and had a long history of warfare.
Three types of colonies existed in the British Empire in America during the height of its power in the 18th century. These were chattel colonies, proprietary colonies, and royal colonies. The mother country were seen as more important than the colony, so the colonies were often mistreated and had to grow cash crops instead of edible crops.
What effects does the colonization brought? There are some positive and negative effects of colonization in the nation. The positive effect is that it leads to the prosperity of the nation, but the negative effect is that it leads to the suffering of the other people.
Which were the main characters of the colonialism? The Captain John Smith, Pocahontas, Chief Powhatan, John Rolfe, and Nathaniel Bacon.
We decided that the colonization of the Americas was positive, especially because of these reasons. It was the first permanent English settlement in the Americas, Jamestown. Yet, the English settled here because it was rich in natural sources. It had a good harbor and it was easy to defend, and with the financial of the Virginia Company of London, they developed an excellent settlement that within 10 years. In 1617, it had a population of 700 people. For England, it was a source for lands and great wealthness in crops and tobacco, and with the House of Burgess, the New World had its first instance of self-government. So we can conclude that it was not that harmless, but it had more positive than negative effects.
Thank you very much for your attention.